Welcome to Space NK with me, Ryan Nell. I'm going to be guiding a meditation designed to leave you feeling ready for the weekend, whatever that means. If you've had a very hard week, then let's let it go. If you've got fun plans ahead, let's set some intentions and make sure we enjoy them as much as possible. And let's find a way of just grounding ourselves. Now, meditation is all about connection. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say every other form of relaxation out there is about some form of escape, or at least distraction. We want to escape our reality and get somewhere more pleasant, more pleasurable, just a nicer place, really. And conversely, and counterintuitively though, meditation is all about staying with things. So if most forms of relaxation are about escaping, meditation's about staying with, what am I talking about here? I am talking about finding a way to become more comfortable exactly where you are. Now that means with the body you have today, with the head, whether it's full of thoughts or blissfully empty, whether your emotions are up and down like a roller coaster. I know mine have been with the lockdown and the loss of liberty and everything that's going on. It is finding a way to connect with the moments you have rather than worrying so much about what life might have looked like, the body you could have if you did a whole bunch of different things and had made different decisions. It is about learning how to enjoy what we've got. So I'm not going to lecture you for half an hour because I think that would be a sort of strange kind of torture. But together we're going to do a guided meditation. So I can see people kind of arriving and just want to say welcome to everyone as you arrive. It's awesome to see you here. We're going to spend about the next 20 minutes or so doing a guided meditation with me for finding a bit of calm, with dealing with distraction. How do we deal with distraction when we're in the middle of a 24/7 news cycle? As I said, my name is Ryan Nell. I'm the founder of Levitate. Levitate is a meditation and well-being studio. We teach people how to, well, you guessed it, meditate. We teach people how to meditate. We teach people how to find relaxation, peace, mindfulness in their lives. We do it for individuals, we do it for groups, and we do it for companies. So we're based in Peckham, but we're increasingly virtual. Well, who isn't? So we're teaching over Zoom all the time at the moment, and are in a lot of workplaces, albeit beaming out to people's bedrooms and studies and kitchens, etc. So yeah, it's been really, really lovely. Let me know if you're joining from somewhere else in the world. I'm kind of assuming most of you are here in the UK, but shout out to anyone further afield. We've had people join from Kenya, from Paris, from all sorts of places for classes recently. So anyway, that's enough about what I've been up to. What I want you to do is just find a really comfortable position. So now I'm not going to know if you're lying down or sitting up, but if you're sitting up, then do attempt to sit with a vaguely upright spine. I think it's important not to be dogmatic. So you may have heard that meditation involves white robes and swamis and trips off to see gurus in the Himalayas somewhere. You may think that it involves sitting there with your eyes closed and your hands kind of in that shape. I want to tell you that all of that stuff is beautiful, but it's not really necessary for the practice that we're going to do. The practice we're going to do, you can do in any situation, and it is about setting you up for a life well lived. So we're not really interested in becoming Olympic meditators, able to do it for 2 hours at a time. Amazing if you do it for 2 hours at a time, possibly unnecessary. But what we're trying to do is find a way to take the insights that we learn when we're meditating and apply them to our lives as we live them. So that means they should affect the way we show up in our relationships, definitely your relationship with yourself. It should express in the way you experience your emotions, in the way you connect with your thoughts, in the way you connect with the people in your life. Simply put, it is a way of living. And once you realize that, you can start to spend less time on the meditation cushion, although it's amazing and it will rewire your brain and do all sorts of very powerful things for you, and more time actually just out there in the world enjoying your life. So find that comfortable position, and let's just start by, I know so many of you are pressing the heart button. That is gratifying for me, good for my ego, and comments are still coming in. But let's see if we can together for a moment or two close our eyes and breathe. I'm going to be doing it with you. I might peep them open from time to time just to check that the stream is still happening. But yeah, let's start by closing our eyes and taking a few lovely deep breaths. Together we're going to be breathing in through your nose, down into your belly and out through your mouth. And again in and out. And once more, sending it deep down into your belly, in and out. Notice how good it feels to breathe. Now, see if you can allow yourself to keep on breathing like that. If you like, you can shift to just breathing in and out through your nose. But breathing kind of slowly is going to do a few things. It's going to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. Now, we are wired for survival, and that is a wonderful thing, but often it takes us into fight and flight. It's incredibly useful when you're facing down a saber-toothed tiger. Not many of us have saber-toothed tigers in our lives in this day. But you'd be amazed to know, or perhaps unsurprised to know, that our brains aren't that much more sophisticated than they were 20,000 years ago. And the saber-toothed tiger of then feels the same to our mind, the amygdala, the fear center, as a slightly hesitant look from your boss when you're giving a presentation. You know, that fear center, the fight and flight response, well, that's triggered 10, 15, 20 times a day, perhaps more at the moment, given that we're all living in such bonkers time. And that leaves us feeling pretty shredded, pretty stressed out. Now, the good news is that we've got another system to balance it out. It is your parasympathetic nervous system. Rest and digest. It is how you're feeling when you are calm, surrounded by people you love, familiar circumstances, perhaps your home. Hopefully that makes you feel calm. And we can access it when we slow down our breathing and take a moment to check in with ourselves. So let's continue to breathe deep and slow, sending it down into your belly, but not worrying all too much about what your breath's doing. I don't want to give you a missteer, but if your breath is fast and shallow, then so be it. It's fast and shallow. And if it is deep and slow, it's deep and slow. So we want to just let our breath do its own thing. We are in the business of letting go of tension. So let's be a little deliberate about that. I want you to check in with the crown of your head, and if you find it to be tight or constricted or stressed, I want you just to start to give it permission to soften and release. How about your temples, your forehead, your brows? Are they as soft and relaxed as they could be? And your eyes, if you've just joined, you might have them open. But we're sitting here, most of us, with our eyes closed, breathing deeply. And I'm telling you, even with your eyes closed, you might still be fixing a hard stare behind those eyelids. So I want you to see if you can relax those eyeballs, relax those cheeks, relax your nose, relax your jaw muscles. Don't spend the next 20 minutes gritting your teeth. This is a chance to let go of the tension. Allow your mouth and tongue to soften. Hey, everyone who's joining. Now we're going to move down the body. Let the back of your neck soften. Let your throat soften and relax. And your shoulders, your shoulder blades, your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers. We are letting every part of our bodies soften and release. Let's check in with your chest. How's it doing? Often it's a storehouse of stress. And your sternum, your rib cage, your belly, we are letting it all hang out tonight. So let it all hang out. Don't worry about having the perfect posture. Just allow yourself to soften and relax. Light and fluttery, that's what we want to hear. Now, very most often, if we're not processing emotions in our minds on a conscious level, then you can absolutely guarantee that we're storing them away somewhere in our bodies. And most often we're not aware of them until things become rather chronic. You know, the fight and flight response, well, it is incredibly useful in the moment when you're having to bring your A game, step out the way of a bus, whatever it is. But it is really hard on your health to be constantly in that fight and flight mode. Your immune system is suppressed when your brain and body are wired for fight and flight. Your digestive system is not on its A game. Your reproductive system is also offline. And, you know, all of those things, while they're not essential when you're facing that saber-toothed tiger, they are ways into a life well lived and more enjoyable experience of the day-to-day. So yeah, we want to find the tension in our bodies. Where is it unconsciously stored? And we want to let go of it wherever possible. This is as simple as stopping, breathing, and asking yourself, how am I feeling right now? That's it. So where were we? Let's let our shoulders relax, the top of your spine, the middle of your spine, your lower back, your hips, your pelvis, your seat, your legs, your knees, your ankles, your feet. We are letting every part of our body soften and relax. Any residual tension, let's just let it flow right out of our feet and down into the earth below us. How does that feel? Now we're going to take this a little further. Continuing to breathe these lovely, deep, slow breaths down into your belly. Let's invite in an intention. Now, we are in the business of letting go of whatever this week has contained. We hoard our experiences just the way we fill our houses with possessions. And in the same way that our shelves get totally fill up with books we don't read, which just gather dust, and in just the same way that we find ourselves tripping over possessions, clothes pouring out of drawers that we never wear, or we do exactly the same thing with our experiences. We hold on to them, we make them part of our story, we make them part of our personal narrative. And just like our things, the experiences start to weigh us down. So we're in the business of letting go. Now, you're not in the past, and yet some things that happen today, some things that happen this week or month or year, you are carrying them around with you. And so we just want to let them go. Let's just think back to the last time you felt a little stressed, a little disappointed. Maybe you said the wrong thing. Maybe you didn't say something and you wish you had. Maybe you're stuck in a conversation from yesterday or last week with a sibling or family member or friend. It didn't go all that well. Maybe you got out of bed on the wrong side today. Maybe you've been worrying about your health, a natural thing to worry about right now. And I want you just to notice or remember how you were feeling in that moment. And notice where that feeling is in your body. Is it in your shoulders? Is it in your belly? Is it your forehead, back of your head? Like I say, we feel our emotions in our bodies. They are physical things. And so we want to tune into wherever it is that we happen to be feeling them. Now, imagine this feeling is like a rock. A rock you've been carrying around for too long. And at first it was light and you thought it might come in useful. Obviously you did, otherwise you wouldn't have held on to it. But it's now really starting to weigh quite heavily in your hand. Well, together we're just gonna skim it out over the water or heave it out of our hand and onto the ground beside us. So we're going to do that by taking a deep, slow breath. With me, I want you to breathe to the count of 4, just inhaling 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just hold it for 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then release for 1, 2, 3, 4. Just hold it out for a couple of beats and breathe normally. Now I'm hoping you're feeling a little lighter, a little freer. The mind is a time machine. We spend most of our lives, unfortunately, revisiting the past, in memories, regrets. We are all over the place, or we jump forward in time and we are worrying about a future that hasn't happened yet. Now, the only place we can ever actually be is here in the present moment. So meditation and mindfulness are really a way of discovering how to spend more time in the here and now. Now, if you were playing along with that long breath and the rock and everything else, then you weren't in the past, you weren't in the future, you were right here with me, breathing. What's more, you weren't asking about the thing that I just asked you to call to mind. Now, that is what we're seeking to achieve with meditation. It's not an escape, but it's an instruction, it's an invitation to realize we're in the past, realize we're stuck in our emotions and bring our attention back to the here and now. Bring our curiosity, our sense of wonder, our awe to what is happening in the present moment. Now, I said we were going to set an intention, so we're going to set an intention. Keeping your eyes closed, I want you just to ask yourself a couple of questions. Now, you don't need to answer these out loud, but if you want to kind of say along with me the questions, then just be my guest. Don't need to feel self-conscious. But I do want you to ask yourself these questions. So, together, let's just ask, who am I? Who am I? And we're not interested in any thoughts that come to mind. I'm a 38-year-old man sitting here in my kitchen in Peckham, or, I'm this kind of person or that kind of person, or I'm my job, or I'm my relationship. We are interested in the feeling you get when you ask the question. Who am I right now? Who's asking the question? And then let's ask ourselves, what am I most grateful for? What am I grateful for? Again, paying attention to the feeling that the question evokes. What am I truly grateful for? And ask yourself, what would I like to see flourish in my life? What is my heart crying out for? Don't worry if more than one thing comes to mind, or indeed nothing comes to mind. If more than one do, just be light and take the first. If it has to be a to-do list item, this intention that we're inviting in, then I want you to think about what the emotion is behind it. Would it make you feel safe? Would it make you feel loved? Would it make you feel whole? What would it mean for this intention to come true? And we're just going to invite that in. Together, we're going to plant that seed of intention in your heart. Each of our hearts will have its own seed of intention. And I want you to just take a moment to feel it nestle in and start to put down some roots. That seed of intention has everything it needs to flourish. Now, we don't want to struggle to achieve it. We don't want to put a whole load of effort in. We actually just want to get out of our own way. Now, the way to ensure that that intention flourishes with greater grace and greater ease is to water it with the richness of the present moment. That means giving yourself permission to be present in your own life. Present with the body you have right now. Not the body you had or the body you might have, but the body as you feel it to be. It means being present with your emotions. It means being present with your breath. It means showing up for the here and now. And what you'll find is that that intention is fed and watered and nurtured by our ability to be present. We all have this innate ability. We were able to do it from our very first breath. We were filled with awe, wonder, curiosity, and a deep, deep connection with the world around us and the people in our lives. Everything was full of wonder. Now, as we've sophisticated, gone to school, got jobs, and our lives have become more and more complicated, that carefree, viewing through slightly rose-tinted glasses, kind of halcyon period of your youth, where the world was magical and full of wonder, may seem like it's a very, very long way away, like you left that child in your childhood. You left that child at the station, and you've been traveling on a train that's been picking up speed. And it's now reached the kind of speed where if you look out the window, the foreground is a blur, and the only things that stand out are the peak experiences, the mountains off there on the horizon line. Well, I want to tell you that your ability to connect with the things that are closest to you, the miracle of having a body, the wonder of being connected to your environment, of being connected to every other living thing, well, that hasn't gone away. Sure, it's a bit of a blur and it's mundane and we look past it because we think that success involves some kind of challenge, some kind of journey, some kind of epic quest. But I want to tell you that it's here and it's accessible in the here and now, and you can connect with it whenever you stop and slow down and take a breath. And we've been going about half an hour, so I want to be really respectful of your time. Together, we're just going to take a couple of deep, slow breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again, just letting go of any tension in your body with a sigh. In and out. Allowing your shoulders to soften, the back of your head to soften, your neck to soften, your temples, your brow, your jaws, your chest, your belly, just allowing any residual tension to drain out of you. Start to notice the sounds around you in your immediate environment. Any sensations in your body from head to toe. And when you like, you could blink open your eyes. Now, how are you feeling right now? I hope the answer is absolutely blissed out. Too blissed out to reach for the keyboard. Pop in an emoji into the chat. But anyway, I would love to know how you're feeling. Now, the truth about meditation is that it's a roller coaster, like life. No surprises there. But it is not necessarily like an immediate, blissed out escape. Like I said at the start, we're not in the business of escaping. We are in the business of connecting more deeply with the present moment. Now, if the present moment is a busy, busy mind full of stressed out, anxious thoughts, then the meditation is going to be bumpy. And if your body is not, firing on all cylinders, then you're going to be very conscious of your body. And if your emotions are up and down, then you're going to be noticing that your emotions are at volume 11. Whatever you've been suppressing or ignoring, guaranteed it goes up to volume 11. So don't let that worry you. The trick with meditation, the key, is to keep on coming back to it. And to not beat yourself up if you miss a day, a week, a month, a year. It is not another thing to beat yourself up for not achieving. Meditation is like a gift that you can give to yourself. But we shouldn't give ourselves a hard time for getting busy, for getting distracted, for getting caught up in our lives. But when we remember, it is as simple as stopping and slowing down and taking a breath, asking yourself the question, what is going on right now? How am I feeling right now? How does it feel to be in my body right now? Not the perfect body, not the perfect moment, not the perfect career, not the perfect relationship, but here And now, how does it feel to be alive? And that's it. I make it sound so simple, but it's so difficult to do. And so I want to just say an enormous thank you to all of you for joining me for this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This was an immense opportunity from Space NK for Levitate and me. I'm Ryan Nell, in case you didn't catch that at the start. But you know, even more so, I'm just so honoured to have had some minutes of your time on a Friday evening when I'm competing with the funniest memes on the internet and some kind of okay weather here in London. Not great tonight, at least that was in my favour. So thank you for being here. I'm going to stick around for 5 to 10 minutes to answer any questions you might have. So if you've got a burning question, ask it. This video is going to be available for 24 hours in the Space NK stories. So tell a friend about it. Or if you only caught the last 5 minutes and are wondering what the devil I was talking about, rest assured it will be there for a day and you can go back to the start. As I say, please share with a friend. It would mean a lot to me. If you like this and want more, please follow Levitate. Our Instagram account is @LevitateLondon. One word, @LevitateLondon. We do classes for individuals. We do classes for groups, and now we're teaching in companies all over the world over Zoom. So yeah, if you don't want to pay for a class, if you can't pay for a class, money is tight at the moment, why not hit up your employer? Or join us every day, every weekday on YouTube at 2 p.m. Since the start of the crisis, I've been doing free meditations. They're like 15 minutes long. We have a different theme every day. So if you can't make a class, if you can't get your employer to get Levitate in, then just join us for free on YouTube. Let me just have a little look at these comments. Stick around. If you had a burning question, you might type it in again. I'm so sorry if I missed someone's. There were so many waves and likes and sweet comments. Lucy did Zoom yoga and was looking forward to this meditation. Lucy, hopefully you enjoyed it. Hannah, it was lovely to see you. Dave Miller, the skincare review. Caramel Sienna, cannabis is our DNA. Living on a busy road, and this apparently worked. Well, that is the beauty of meditation. We don't need to worry about curating our lives. We can't do anything about the noisy neighbours or the fact that we're all cooped up with our housemates, with our kids, with our families, or on our own. But we can do something about working on accepting the present moment as we find it. So happy that it worked for you, Hannah. Louise, trying to avoid the present is my #1 challenge. This has helped. Yeah. Well, look, the desire to escape is such a natural thing. And I'm not going to lie. I teach meditation. I meditate a lot. I'm very much in this world. And yeah, I can tell you I need an escape as much as the next person. But what I can also tell you is that an escape feels good temporarily and then it wears off. We all know that. Like binging Netflix feels incredible, but it robs us of our sleep and it overstimulates us, and it's a temporary balm. We're looking for things that actually rewire the way we think and feel, and I would say meditation is one of those things, as is yoga, as is eating well, as is nourishing your relationships with the people you care about. But all of those things are about connection, not escape. Marta, what if I find it so boring? I really want to get into it. Yeah, meditation can be really boring. Hopefully this one wasn't boring. But what I would say is, and we'll get into it in another session if Space NK have me back, but you will have thoughts that go along the lines of, oh my goodness, I'm bored, or I'm frustrated, or my busy mind just won't shut up, or maybe I'm just not a person who can meditate. You'll have those thoughts when you're meditating, and the ticket is to just treat them as more thoughts. If you imagine your thoughts and emotions and the sounds around you, in fact, everything you're experiencing as just a wave on the ocean, well, when you're amongst the waves, things can feel pretty choppy and turbulent and distracting and separate, and most of us live our lives up on that level. That is the level of thoughts kind of pinging into your mind and just taking over. Now, beneath the waves, though, there is always the ocean. You can't take the waves out of the ocean. You can't take the ocean out of the waves. When you're amongst the waves, things feel separate, things feel frantic, things feel frustrating and sort of all-encompassing. But I'm telling you, if you dive down a couple of meters, you will find the water is calm and quiet and serene. When you're sitting there meditating and you're having thoughts, this is frustrating. Oh my goodness, did I let the cat out? What's for supper? I'm bored. I think I'll stop. This is your opportunity to notice that you're having thoughts, but not let the thoughts run you. See if you can treat them like more waves, just rising in your consciousness, and then once you've noticed they're there, subsiding again. That is your ticket to freedom. Vintage Brown finds it hard to clear your mind. Well, yeah, we have busy minds. What you'll find is the more you do this, the easier it becomes. But we are not aiming for, we can't stop our thoughts. We're not aiming for a totally quiet mind. We are aiming to become more aware of the thoughts as they arrive. You see, if you're in amongst the thoughts, you very often will find that you just are the thoughts. It's an illusion. You have an anxious thought and you are anxious. You have a thought like, I'm always going to feel this way, or it's never going to be any better. And that feels so true that it's hard to see. It's just another thought. It's no different to the sounds in your environment. You're conscious of it. And then it falls away again. So we're not really trying to clear our minds, but we're trying to become more aware of just how full they are. Marta, I already live in a very mindful state. Do I still need to do mindfulness? Well, that's one and the same thing. It sounds like you're already doing it. As I said at the start, meditation is like the training wheels for life. So if you are feeling incredibly mindful in your day-to-day life, right? Like you're really tasting your food. You're really present when you're in a conversation with someone. You're not just queuing up your witty response or worrying about what you're going to say next or kind of queuing up some story. You're actually listening to the other person. If you're in touch with your body deeply, so you're not surprised by a sudden hunger, a sudden tiredness, a sudden trip to the osteopath, if you are deeply in touch with the present moment, well, then you are living mindfulness. Meditation is a way of quieting down some of the distractions so that we can kind of get a sense of what it might feel like to live mindfully. But like I say, it's the training wheels. At some point, you want to realize that we don't want to spend our life on the cushion. We want to have the insight that everything is connected, that you are not your thoughts, you are not your environment, you are not the sounds around you. You are the space that contains all of that stuff. And when you can connect with that, you will be connected to the whole ocean. You won't just live your life amongst the waves. Thank you so much, Ines. Thank you, Lion Cub. I said the IG a couple of times. It's at Levitate London. It's really, really awesome to have you all here. I think I got everyone's questions. Yeah, Charlene, if you missed, Charlene, sorry. If you missed it, this is going to be in Space NK Stories for 24 hours. So do check it out or head over to our YouTube channel and watch some of the free meditations. You can meditate live with me every weekday at 2 p.m. or join a class. Thank you so, so much. I'm going to sign off now. I've had quite enough of your time. Have a beautiful, beautiful Friday evening. Thank you, Ronald, for posting Levitate's Instagram. Means a lot to me. Have an amazing weekend. Go easy on yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And thank you again to Space NK. I will see you all very, very soon.